You feel like rain in the morning, giving me mixed emotions. You feel like, you feel like, you feel like, you feel like rain in the morning, giving me mixed emotions. You feel like, you feel like, you feel like, you feel like rain in the morning, giving me mixed emotions.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. God uses his people any way he chooses to. If God gives somebody a message to deliver, who are we to judge that person how the message is being brought out? Now, I'm figuring, all these years went by, a lot of things have happened. God giving people premonitions, dreams. And if he chooses to want somebody to deliver a message a specific way, they got to do what God tell them to do. If we stop worrying about how you doing, Miss Carla? How you doing, sugar? Good to see you too, Miss Carla. What's going on with you? If it's something that I don't understand in the Bible, I don't sit and ridicule somebody else because they don't know. So many church folks, they're so judgmental towards the next when they don't even know the Bible. If you know the Bible, Miss Carla, and I might don't know much about the Bible, who am I to tell you what to say and what not to say? I'll be wrong for that if I don't know the Bible like that, right? Because we all here to learn. That got to stop, because if everybody worry about what goes on in their own channel, a lot of this foolishness can stop. Whatever somebody chooses to do on their channel, it doesn't float my boat. It doesn't bother me. I can care less. That's too much time and energy to be wasted on what somebody else chooses and how they choose to deliver a message. That's foolish to me. I can't call somebody hypocritical if I'm coming online, being mean towards the people too. Thank you, Miss Carla. I need to put some other little pictures up there, girl, because I'm tired of the music, honey. I got to change the music and the photo, child. Both of them. But I hope y'all had a great weekend. But I'm the type of person, I don't sit and judge people. But if God tell me to give a message, I'm going to give the message the way God tell me, the best of my ability. We shouldn't be sitting back worrying about how a person deliver a message, because who am I to say, Carl, if God give you a message to give, who am I to say God didn't give it to you? We got to stop that. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, Miss Carla, I've been doing pretty good, honey. Keeping my head above water. I'm thanking God each and every day. And I got a lot to be thankful for in spite of. But y'all, make sure y'all keep your head above water. No matter what it look like, always make sure you keep your head above water. Don't ever doubt yourself on nothing that you do. Don't ever. I promise you. Sometimes when we doubt ourselves, we kind of throw our blessings in the trash. But if you keep your head above water, in spite of what you're going through, I promise you, everything going to work out for you. Doubt bring on things to a point to where the enemy, let me use this for an example. If you sit and you pray to God for something, you might be going through holy hell, going through all sorts of things, right? And your spirit might be down. You might don't be feeling like it, angry, frustrated. That's the only way the enemy can cause you to lose your blessing. But if you keep your head above water in spite of what you're going through, I don't care what it is, anything that will make you upset, try to keep a smile on your face in spite of and keep your head above water. Everything going to work in your favor. The enemy can't bother you long as you got your head above that water. But the minute you allowed your head to go into that water, the enemy got you. And that's how a lot of people lose out on their blessings. That's how the enemy sit and take over people's lives. That's how the enemy tap dance on people, because they keep allowing their head to sink underneath the water. Several times when I felt upset, I had to keep my head above water. I snap out of it quick. I realized something. That was my downfall the whole time. Me allowing my head to go into that water. No matter, I don't care what it looked like. I don't care if you're facing death in your family. I don't care if you ain't got no food to eat. Whatever it is that will make you feel down and out, you keep your head above water. Snap out of it real quick. Look, a Legend of Oz. How you doing, Legend? How are you? I hope all is well with you, brother. I hope all is well with you. Keep your head above water. The enemy can't take your blessings as long as you keep your head above water. I remember that was last week. I was in my feelings about something. God spoke in my spirit about some things, and I snap out of it quick. I said, devil, you is a liar. Just that quick, the devil could have tap danced on my blessings if I would have stayed in that type atmosphere to a point to where how I'm feeling. I call it my atmosphere. How I was feeling at that time. I snap out of it quick. I began to go in prayer. And my body began to calm down even more, mellow back down the way it's supposed to. Let him see, that's right, yeah. Thank you, Miss Carla. I snap out of it real fast. I remember one lady asked me, that was a couple years ago. She said, Miss Bunny, how you able to be manifesting things like that? How you are able to call places that they normally, okay, this lady had oil bill. She didn't have the money at that time, so they turned her lights off. I think her lights was $600-$700. I knew it was pretty high. No matter what that lady said, them people still would not turn her lights on, even though she had 6 kids. I remember she came to my home and she said, I know I'm gonna do my lights off. I said, call them back. Call them back and talk to them. She said, I'm afraid, can you do it? I said, girl, let me tell you something but God. One thing, when God said he gonna do something, you don't need me or nobody to do it for you. You can do it yourself, and it's already done. But she still been determined that she didn't want to do it herself. She wanted me to do it. So I called the light company for her, talked to the lady. I ain't even been on the phone, not even 5 minutes. That girl lights was back on within 30 minutes. Now, this particular light company, they believe in you paying all your light bill every month. I had a family member got their lights turned off for $5. That's all it been lacking, $5. And I said, why you ain't call me? I could have get you the $5. You know, it just gotta have faith. Always have faith and keep your head above water. When you got faith, I promise you, when things ain't looking good, your faith gonna still carry you through. When you broke, you might don't have much food in your house. God will send somebody. You might ain't got no gas in your car. God will send somebody to give you some money to put gas in your car. If you keep your faith, God gonna make sure He take care of all your needs. Sometimes we look at the bigger things we want in life, but sometimes God said He only gonna supply what we need, not the bigger things that we want, but He gonna make sure He supply your needs. Don't allow nobody to discourage you. There's a lot of that going on right now. Me and my daughter was talking earlier. This young lady, she had a dream, but she was telling, I guess, the people on Facebook the dream she had. But the dream I had was a little bit similar. The dream I had, it was some kind of weird. Y'all remember I told y'all about the weird species that came on the earth? They look kind of weird, but they very fast. But these species, they can smell. They can smell people out, right? When the species been on land, I call it some kind of, I don't know what it is, but it didn't. It's just undescribable how it looked, right? I remember in the dream I had, some foreigners came from overseas. They had an all white jet with some kind of black stripe on it, right? God spoke in my spirit and He said, you're going to have to guide the people. But when you guide the people, y'all going to appear invisible, right? Because one of them jets was like on the property where we been, right in front of the home. It was like a group of people. We all been inside this house. I had that dream like 2 times. We all been inside the house, and God was saying it at the time. It was so many jets outside in the air flying to and fro, but this one particular jet came down real low in front of the house. So the people started panicking. Getting scared a little bit because they were saying, how are we going to leave this house and get around the individual that was driving the jet? I said, don't worry about it. I said, we all going to join hands because God said it's time for us to walk at the door. When we join hands and walk out that door, it's like God made us to appear invisible where the pilot couldn't even see us. So while we was walking along, God was speaking in my spirit. He was telling me, I'm going to need you to guide these people to safety. But once you guide them to safety, I'm going to need you to go and get more people and guide them to safety. So I'm saying this to say this, y'all. I believe there's a lot of hidden things being hidden from us that they're not talking about. I can feel it's something coming, but I just don't know what it is. I don't know it's because I got a lot of things on my mind that's blocking me from seeing what's coming, but something's coming. Because too many people having similar premonitions of things coming in this world. It might not be the same, but it's kind of similar. So I believe God is waking his people up. He's like giving a warning to warn us to prepare ourselves. That's why I really believe what the dream really means. Now, some people think, when you serve God is a hard thing. It's not hard. Look at Dookie Duke. I miss you, Dookie Duke. How are you? Don't pay me no mind, because I be talking my Rocky Dog like that and Binky. How you doing, Dookie Duke? Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Go look at this door. Good to see you, honey. I believe God is warning his people, for we can prepare ourselves for what's coming. We might don't have a full understanding to know what's coming, but something is coming. And maybe it's time where he don't even want us to know. What's going on, Dookie Duke? So I'm not a judgmental type person, y'all. Just want to throw it out there. I like to listen to people. That's good, honey. I'm doing okay, Dookie Duke. I'm doing pretty good. So I believe God is really wanting his people so we can prepare ourselves ahead of time, because too many other people is having the same premonition, but it's a little bit different. Things don't even look the same no more. So I'm saying this to say this to anybody who out there. It's not hard serving God. The best way you can serve God is when you go into meditation. That means you sacrificing yourself, being out in public, and you giving that to God. God loved that. When you give up the worldly things for him, he loved that. And just meditate for hours. When you meditate for hours and you sit and you talk to God, or you could, if you got a mop, you could still mop and do things in your house and clean up. But make sure you keep your mind on God at all times. That's the quickest way you can level up with God, is when you go in meditation. Correction. Because it's rules with everything. These are the rules. Correction. That means if you're around somebody and you know they're doing something that's not right, do not allow your brother or sister to fall in the ditch. You let them know that's not right. Don't do that. You ain't got to do that to yourself. Most time, because I'm a witness to it, because I did it one time where I saw somebody doing something, but I didn't say anything because I thought it just took too much from me. You serious, Dookie Duke? What happened? Girl, I be forgetting, Dookie Duke, when I be telling y'all stuff. Girl, you laughing, Dookie Duke. Girl, I be forgetting. I can say, when I tell people different things that God showed me, or whatever he want me to tell somebody, I don't be remembering. After I done tell you, I'm not gonna remember. I guess because it's not for me to know. But man, y'all, some great things. God, believe God is doing some great things in this year right here. It's some great things going to happen. I really believe that. But that one time when I didn't say anything to that individual, And the reason why, because I felt drained. When you correct people in their wrongdoing and don't stand in the midst of them while they're doing something wrong, God loved that. You know, I always tell anybody, we all can get to the place with God the correct way. When I get the letter, I share the numbers. Okay, Dookie Duke. Don't forget neither. Don't you forget, Dookie. We all can get blessings from God. It's not a hard thing. Sacrifice, give up the worldly things, probably for like a day or two. I don't like going out anywhere, y'all. Hold on. Huh? Okay. Sacrifice, correct people, not saying that you're gonna be anybody, mama or daddy. I'm just saying, if you're in the midst of somebody and you can hear their conversations, do not allow somebody to walk away when you know they're wrong. You got to tell your brother and sister when they're wrong or when they're right. These are the things that will help you level up to gain blessings quick, fast. Sometimes people, we hold back our blessings and we point the finger at somebody else because we don't want to put the work in. When the work not even that hard. This one lady, y'all, she went through hardship for a long time and she couldn't even get no car. She was like jumping ride from here to there, jumping ride here to there. But her life ain't never been like that. Her life became like that when she had did something she not supposed to done to somebody else car. And I told her that day, I said, I don't know why you did that. I said, don't you know it's going to be hard for you to get a car when you do something else to somebody else's? Do you just understand what you done did to yourself? She didn't even have a clue. And she's a church goer, right? It took that lady years before she could be able to get a vehicle of her own. And I remember I was doing her hair one day. I think she was using her cousin car at the time. And I said, if you stop, I said, if I tell you something, and if I be honest with you on something, would you get mad? She said, no. I said, you sure? She said, no. I said, God tell me to tell you, y'all don't know who I'm talking about. God tell me to tell you to stop talking about people when you leave out of their company. I said, did you ever know me when I used to have my shop? Did you ever know me talk about any one of my clients? She said, no. She said, your shop never had gossip in there. I said, that been for a reason. I said, now what you like to do, you ever seen people where I'm talking to Dookie, and then when Dookie leave, I'm talking about Dookie to call her, something like that. That's how she was. So I had to tell her, look, you got to stop that. I said, if you want me to keep it 100 with you, because I'm feeling that you're getting very frustrated. You really want your own vehicle, but I'm going to keep it 100 on what God's telling me to tell you. Either you can take it or leave it. She break down, she cry a little bit. She said, Bunny, you right. I said, look, you go to church every Sunday. You're on the right path about things. Just start correcting. Don't be in people company when you know they messing up themselves. God wants us to help each other. Tell each other better. And you can get yourself out of that rut which you have put yourself in. See, people got to understand, even though she did wrong to somebody's vehicle, God do forgive us, right? But he also going to chastise us for the things we did. See, some people think when we do things, I go and pray and that's just that. No, sometimes God will spank us a little bit and allow us to go through something to teach us. Don't do that no more. That's why she wasn't able to get a car for a couple years. Now, when I told her what God tell her, I said, look, if you stop talking behind people back when you leave at the midst of their company, and you start correcting people when you know they're wrong at something. Not saying for you to be their mama or daddy. I'm not saying that. Correction is if you hear a lady say, girl, I been with that man last night, girl, his wife ain't know about it. You got to teach her better and tell her, look, that ain't right. Don't do that. You know, what if that been you? I mean, in that way. So she said, you know what? You right, Bunny. I said, I don't want to be right about nothing. Let's keep it 100. I said, now we as people, we hold ourselves back based on the things we choose to do, thinking we getting away, but we only affecting ourselves when we doing it. I said, that's something easy. There ain't nothing hard. The more you correct people in their wrongdoing, not saying that you being their mama or daddy or they, you know, however the case may go. I'm not saying that. I'm saying from love, telling them better. The more you're gonna level up, you're gonna level up quicker like that. I tell anybody, when you have if you got a rough life and you know it's hard for you to get anything, sometimes it's good to sit and search deep within yourself. What is it causing me to lack? If okay, let me slow down. I had a girlfriend, y'all. When she cooked, she used to cook a big old pot of food. But she been stingy if somebody want a plate of food. Y'all know to fix a plate of food, it only take a little bit of gravy, rice, probably a piece, and sometimes you ain't even need no meat. If they need the meat, you know, for the family, right? When she cooked food, she got enough food to last her over for at least 2 days, right? If they choose to eat it for 2 days. She used to be the type, she used to get in her feelings about giving somebody a plate of food. And I remember she came to my house one day and she said, I don't have no food in my house. I said, what? I said, you got them kids and what? You ain't got no food. I said, why you ain't tell me I could have give you some money or you know whatnot? You ain't. She said I felt so embarrassed or whatnot. I didn't want to, you know, go to nobody. I said, come on now. We sleep in the same bed. Don't do that. But anyway, to make the long story short, I said, let me tell you something. When me and her went to that store, I said, let me tell you something, keep it 100. You know why you lack food in your house? Because you stingy when it's time to feed somebody. Whatever you stingy on is what you're going to lack at. If you stingy on giving somebody a ride, you ain't going to keep no car. If you got a car and you using that car for foolishness, buying drugs, whatever, something that's not, don't get me wrong. I mean, let me slow down. If you use the car for bad things, right? Knocking people off, robbing, y'all know what I'm trying to go with that. Not saying that you're not going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes sometime, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying it for people who constantly do wrong with the car, wrong, over and over again. Every now and then everybody going to have a hiccup. I'm not talking about that. That's why a lot of people can't keep vehicles because when they get it, they don't know how to settle down in a place to where don't abuse it. You know, God don't want us to ever cherish anything. He don't want us to sit here and just allow somebody who really in need. Not saying no stranger. I'm not saying that. Somebody who you know within your family probably need help, who you talk to every day, but you say you ain't getting in my car. I got a family member who never can keep a car. When they get a car, this is no lie. When they get a car, say within 3 months, that car gone. And they ain't going for no repo or nothing. The reason why? Because when you do foolishness, when God bless you with something, you got to understand you can't do foolishness with it constantly. It's a word they call, I forget the name of the word they call it when you do things constantly, but when you do things in a constant way, over and over again, you're going to lack with it. Don't abuse it. My car I had before my truck wreck, I had that truck for 13 years. I'm setting this example, right? I'm using it for an example. 13 years. Engine been 100% good. Took it to the dealer. This is engine so strong, they ain't never seen nothing like that before. Because I never abuse things when I get it. I made sure I use it for my better good, not to abuse it in a way to say, God, I'm ungrateful. No, I said, Lord, I thank you for my vehicle. I thank you for my home. I thank you for the food. We got to give God thanks for the things we have and not sit around every day and don't ever give him thanks for nothing that he give us. That's why we as people, we lack, and it's hard for us to get certain things because we abuse it. We don't appreciate things when God give it to us. But the more we begin to give God the praises behind the vehicle he give you, and it might don't be what you want, but I promise you, the more you give God and give him thanks for what you have, he's going to upgrade you. I've been there. My first car was a Honda Elantra. You couldn't tell me that wasn't the best car in the world of me back in the day. I thought I'd been riding in a Jag. What? That little thing need a paint job, but I thought I was riding the Jag. You couldn't tell me nothing. I ain't been stingy of giving nobody no ride, but you couldn't tell my head been all the way up in the sky when I had that Honda. But I could tell you something. I never abused what God given me. Look at Miss Amelia. How you doing, honey? How you doing? How are you? But I never abuse anything that God give me. Now, if I have a hiccup, I shake myself back and I say, Lord, forgive me. And I thank you for everything I have. Even the times I didn't have, I still told God, I thank you for the things I didn't have. I thank you for my trials and tribulations. I thank you for all things that you allow me to go through, God. We got to give God the thanks for the little. That's how we upgrade on things. So when the enemy try to come along, because we gonna come against people who gonna come against us, even people we don't know, who is going to prey on our downfall. That's why it's very important you keep your head above water. So when you keep your head above water, so when them days come, when the enemy try to come against you and pray against what God already got for you, it won't happen. They can't do nothing with you because God already know you putting the work in. He know your heart. And the enemy can't take nothing away once God had blessed you with it. I'm glad to hear you doing good, Miss Amelia. You better say so. You got to thank God. You better say so, legend. How you doing, Miss Tracy? How you doing, honey? It's a lot of ways you can level up with God. I had grown people, y'all, because remember I told y'all, I probably had, because most of my friends, most of them were older women in their late 60s and 70s, right? Those were my girlfriends, right? Some had passed away. But make the long story short, we all going to come against, no, not come against. We all going to have somebody who going to come against us. That's why it's very important that you thank God for everything you have, even if it's a little bit, and level up. If you forget to pray, the times you remember, just pray. Give God the thanks. We got to give back to God, which God have given to us. And if you're not happy with the home you got or whatever, however the kids may come, however the kids may go, I promise you, if you keep giving God the thanks for what you got, I promise you, He gonna level you up. He gonna do it. People used to ask me, "How you get cars with no money? Going to a dealer." You used to get a car. My credit score used to have been 350. 350. 40-some thousand dollar car. Even at the dealer, the people shaking their head because they've been puzzled. Like, how you did that? Get the bank to do it. I don't know. It's God, man. I just trust and believe. When I go inside that bank, inside that loan shop office, I say, I need me a car and you're going to approve it. I just go in there and say what, listen, if God tell me to say it that way, I'm going to say it just the way God tell me. I ain't going to even overthink that at all. I do what God tell me to do. When I went with somebody to court, God told me to take that plain piece of paper I took from my house to court with me. I took it in my car. When I got to the courthouse with somebody, I went inside the courthouse. Matter of fact, God said, where the paper at I tell you to bring with you? I said, oh, let me run back to the car right quick. So I told the police, I said, you don't mind for running my car? I got to get something like this. He said, that was fine. He let me out and go run back to the car. So when I got back into the courtroom, I got the little plain paper sitting all the way back, like in the seat, like fading with it because it's been a little hot, right? What the heck I'm doing this paper? You're not on this paper. Like, I said, well, okay, you tell me to bring it in here. So I guess need me to fan with it. You must be know I've been hot. No, baby. No, baby. When I went with somebody to court, the lady been so nasty, I should throw you in jail. Matter of fact, I can make you take a class and make you go to jail. When I see this lady been acting like she been ghetto as heck, she been acting like she was ghetto and she just lost it in there. So I'm sitting on the seat looking at her crazy on one side of my eye. I'm looking at her one eye, looking at her crazy, like, ma'am, slow down. Look at you, you're losing yourself. But when she look at me, I'm shaking my head, this one eye looking at her like, when I looked at that lady, y'all, that lady said, oh, that paper in your hand for me? I said, no, ma'am. She said, yes, it is. So she told the officer, so God told me to give her the paper. When she said that, God said, give her the paper. None of it makes sense to me why God wanted me to bring that paper. So I handed it to the officer. Now, remember, I don't have court. I'm going with somebody else. I'm not even up there with them. I'm sitting all the way. I'm not going to say congregation because that's considered church. But I'm sitting on the little chairs or whatnot. Away from, the little trial thing or whatnot. That lady look at that plain paper. I will not sit here and lie to y'all. She was reading the paper. Ain't nothing been on that paper, y'all. Whatever God put on that paper, whatever words God had on that plain paper, I don't know today what that paper said. But guess what? I was just sitting there looking at that lady, y'all, with one side of my head cocked, like, what's on that paper that lady reading? This lady picked the paper down, y'all. Took her robe off. Now, the person who I went to court with, they looked back at me like, what the heck? You not know that paper? Listen, I'm shaking my head like, don't worry about it. God working this out. She picked the paper down. This lady got up. She took her robe off. She was mad, y'all. She was mad. She threw the robe on the chair. Walk up, I'll be back. She was ghetto that day, y'all. She was real ghetto. So I'm saying to myself, this lady ain't cracking the heck up. So she left the courtroom. A black judge walked in the courtroom with his suitcase. He already had his coat on because, matter of fact, I remember it was wintertime. He said, I'm just about to go home. I said, what in the heck going on? So I'm puzzled, y'all. I'm just sitting there like, okay, but God, go ahead and work it out. Whatever it is, it's in your hand. I just always do what you tell me to do. Just do what you gotta do. So she got up off she got up, right? She went and sat all the way in the corner, y'all. The corner, not on no regular chair. She been diagonal in the corner with the chair sitting up in the corner. The man he took his jacket off, put his robe on, he sat down. When he sat down, I remember that judge, he looked up at me. When he looked up at me, now you got to remind, she was in the corner, busting her tail off, out of line, out of pocket, being disrespectful, loud, all that right there. Now, she's the judge. She in the corner now. She been doing all that, acting a fool up in the corner. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why she acting a fool? The man trying to talk who already done took the stand. He already done sat down, ready to get things going. She studied talking, so he just went on with it because she wasn't gonna stop. She was that mad. So I'm thinking to myself, the things this lady been saying, I would have did do this, do that. I've been saying to myself, then why the heck did you get up? I was thinking that. Why did you get up? You already been in position. Why did you get up? I was thinking that. But I see, you know what? God was working that the whole time. He made her get up and sat in the corner. And guess what he did? She couldn't even move. She had to sit there and listen. It was pissing her off because she couldn't move to leave that courtroom. God had it fixed to where he wanted her to have. In spite of, people got to understand, when the enemy want bad for you, I promise you, God has set that thing up so good where the enemy got to sit and watch it. And it made her so mad and angry. She wanted to fly off in that. When I say she was out of pocket, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. So when the man been sitting there, he look up at me. When he said he been looking at me, I look at the judge. And the judge say, your mother, your daddy, your family, your auntie and uncles will never lead you wrong. He said it like 3 times. So the judge say, I want to ask you, ma'am, I'm going to give this person 3 things to choose from. Or she in the corner popping off even more louder, baby. She really getting pissed off. I want to do this and do that. When I said she been going off, y'all, she won't shut the heck up. She was making me so mad. I've been looking at her, boy, my mouth just, you know, people can read your lip, right? Or the stuff I've been saying while she been looking, I've been looking, I see you is one. Ooh, it was too much that day, y'all. But anyway, really the judge was trying to give a hint. In other words, whatever been discussed before you came in here, because he know God have did it, you better take what been told to you. That lady been in the corner. I want to do this, do this. I want to do this and do this, do this. The whole time. That's why the man keep repeating it like 3 times. Like, focus. He said, I'm over here. Focus over here. I'm in front of you. Why you looking over there? Because the lady keep talking. What she would have did, right? This doggone crazy fool sit here, y'all. When the lady said what she would have did and she already off the stand, don't you know the best thing that person could have took was pay the 200 and something dollars and get clear, free, and gone. This person sit and took what the lady been saying up in the corner. The bid that the lady want to give, the bid is to jack you up. If you miss one day, you got to start all over again. So after we left that day, I said, why in the heck would you sit and do that? The best thing you could have did was pay and you would have been free and clear. Always, see, money could be the root of all evil, y'all. And I'm telling y'all this for a reason. Money is the root of all evil, but you gotta have common sense dealing with money. That's why God will break people down and build them back up before they get money, because he don't want them to make the same mistakes. He want to make sure you're going to hold on to that money when you get it. God going to make sure you're not going to use and abuse that money when you get it. That's why he allowed different things to happen, to train you, to have you equipped to handle a lot of money when you get it. So that person had loved that money so bad, they prefer to keep that little bit of money, y'all, in their pocket, then to go ahead and let the courts have it to be free and clear. Money is the root of all evil. It's only evil when you love it enough not to use your common sense with it. And that's why I was very upset. I said, why you didn't just pay and be free and clear? The enemy done tricked you. You wanted to keep that and you going to probably blow it. Ain't no telling. Now you back to square one again. We got to use common sense when we're dealing with money. How many of y'all, and I'm going to go, how many of y'all saw that YouTube video? It was a Caucasian guy in a grocery store, and he had some ice cream with money under it. And he had probably 4 or 5 people in line, and he let them choose the ice cream. And whatever ice cream they choose, they'll get money, right? So the next go around, he said, do you want to cash the money in and draw again? Or I can give you an extra 10 on what you got, and you could just keep that and you be free and clear. Y'all saw that on YouTube, any one of y'all? Okay, Dookie said she saw the video. Now, Dookie, what I'm saying is with money, you gotta you use logic, right? The lady who had the $5 bill, now common sense, the reason why I'm saying this for a reason, I don't know who this for. Common sense, the lady who only had $5, right? Out of all, I think she started off with $5. Instead of she cashed that $5 in, she hold on to that $5, but at the end, she didn't really end up with nothing. I think she didn't really end up with much, I think. Now, if you got $5 already in your pocketbook, and the man said, do you want to give me the $5 and draw again? Or do you want to keep the $5 and I can give you an extra $20 with it? She said, I keep the $5. I want to cash that $5 in. Let me draw again, bro. Let me go ahead and draw again because I got 5 in my pocketbook. I won't tell him that, but I got 5 in my pocketbook. Some things we got to be logic about. If she had $5 in her wallet, lady, your better chance is to give the man the $5 and draw again. But the game didn't happen that way. He keep allowing them to come back through the loop again. We got to use common sense when we got money and logic, y'all. That's all what God wants us to do. Keep your head above water. Wonder Woman, how you doing, sugar? How you doing, Wonder Woman? I hope all is well with you, girl. The reason why I tell y'all to keep your head above water is very important. Whatever you do, that's good. You're doing good, Wonder Woman. I'm glad to see you, hon. The reason why I tell y'all to keep your head above water, you got to understand something. The enemy can't tap dance on your head if you keep your head above water. We live in a time now where people is studying more. They're learning different techniques. And we'll get into that another day, but the enemy can't steal your blessings if you keep your head above water. But if you sink under that water a little bit and allow your anger to take hold of you, the enemy can steal your blessings only if you allowed yourself to get that way. Always remember that. If you angry, upset about something, snap out of it. Go in there and use the bathroom. Go in the other bathroom. Hurry up. Snap out of it fast, and you can pray inside where the enemy can't steal your blessings. I'm telling you what I know. Always, always, always keep your head above water. You know, sometimes you're going to have them hiccups. But remember, whatever you do, and you remember this, what I tell you, because I know y'all going to remember, snap out of it fast and pray inside and ask God to forgive you for getting angry at that time, because a lot of people is losing things behind people who be studying, reading on things and doing different things, y'all. The enemy is stealing from people. And this type of information they're not going to tell nobody. And the reason why they don't want people to know, because the thieves don't want this information out. It's just like the thieves getting locked up in jail. When they take things, but when you know something, they can't take what you know. Always remember that. Vibrate high, always stay happy, keep your head above water and thank God for everything you have. So when the enemy try to come and take things that belong to you, God not going to allow it to happen because God know you are very thankful even for the little bit you got. Always remember that. Y'all have a good night. I got bank here and I got to lay it down early, y'all. Doogie doo. A bird in the hand is more than one in the bush. Doogie doo. How you doing, Betty Boo? Good to see you, Betty Boo. Good to see you. You wash your hand? You gotta take a bath, baby. You can't get in bed like that, okay? Alright. What's up with you, man? What's going on with you? You alright? That's why you be. Oh, baby, you got stuff all behind your pants, baby. Don't get on the bed. Get in the bathroom. You got stuff. It's bad. Stay there. No. You got stuff all on your clothes back here. No, baby. Don't get on the bed. Don't sit right there neither. Oh my God. Hey, Betty Boom, how are you? Okay, y'all. Good night. I'm not gonna hold y'all much longer. Thank y'all for joining me once again. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I really, really do. Good night, y'all. Love y'all. You gotta wash.